Hello, hello, friends. Welcome to Crafting with Mary. If you are new here, thank you for joining today. If you've been with me before, thank you for coming back. I really do appreciate it. Today I have an interesting video. I am working on temperature charts. So, towards the end of last year, was at the beginning of this year, I saw two different creators within a week or so of each other talking about temperature charts. One was showing Katie with Diamonds and Washi was showing her finish from the previous year, and I was like, "Oh, that's a really, really interesting thing to do. I've always wanted to do a cross stitch conversion." Excuse me. So I was like, "Huh, I really want to do that." And then Rich was speaking of diamonds, talked about starting one as well and was kind of showing it and different stuff. And I was like, man, I really want to do that. So I thought, I'm going to start checking into it. Maybe next year I'll have, everything I need and everything in order, blah, 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 blah. Well, the more I started looking into it, the more I'm like, oh, I want to do it now. I want to do it for this year. For 2025, I want to do it. And it actually came together pretty quick, a lot quicker than I thought it would. When I started looking into it, I was like, oh, it's not going to take me that long to get all this stuff together and get it figured out. So then I started looking at, temperature charts, and I couldn't decide between these two. They both looked really cool. So there's this one, and it's potion bottles. And so it's a bookshelf, and then each month, or each shelf represents a month, and then each bottle represents a day. So I was like, that one's really cool. But I also am a floral person. So this one caught my eye as well. So each flower is a month, and then like each leaf and each petal is a day. So I was like, I'm just going to buy both of them and we'll see. So I bought both of them. And then I couldn't decide between the two. So I'm like, well, I'll just do two of them. It'll be kind of cool to see, the two different ones. And so anyway, so I decided to do two. So then I had to go and order my canvas. I went to Heaven and Earth Designs. I know there's other companies out there as well that you can get from. I did look on, I had seen somebody talk about Evermoment on AliExpress. So I kind of looked there, but they were sizes. I didn't see anything you could order custom size. But I did kind of compare them to Heaven and Earth Design, just kind of price out and see, if prices were different. And they really weren't for a comparable size on Evermoment compared to what I really needed they were right there. So really wasn't going to be any cheaper. And you really do want, one of the things I did find out is you really do want the size. So I'm going to pull this out, and I just put everything in one of my Elizabeth Ward containers. It just kind of helps because I'm going to have this all year long. So I'm like, you know what? This just all fits in here. I have a shelf it can go on. But so I have all my drills. I'll go over this really quick. So I save my drills from other kits, especially Diamond Art Club. There's a few that I don't. There's some like the cheaper kits that I've bought before I learned about licensing and all that stuff. I usually, as I do those, I just kind of throw those away. But if they're a more reputable company with quality drills, I will keep them. And I do actually keep them separate. Like I will not mix Diamond Art Club and say a Dreamer Design or any other company. They have their own baggie. So these are ones. All of these are from all my previous kits that I have saved. And I'm probably not, or I know I'm not going to have enough 310, but this lasts for a year. So as I finish up kits from Diamond Art Club that have 310, guess what? The same with this one I will have enough of, and this color I will have enough of, but this one I know I'm not. So I went through all my kits. I have a folder with all my sticker sheets in it, so I went through all my kits and wrote down which ones have this in it. So I know I need to do a few of the kits that have this color in it so I can have enough. So, and then these are all specialty drills that I ordered just for this project. I am going to have a bunch left over that will go into my extra stash. And I'll show you how I picked all these out and stuff. But I was going to try and do just all fairy dust or all AB or all one specific, all glitter. But there wasn't every color that I needed. Didn't necessarily come in an AB or, you know, so they're all mixed. So there's some AB, some pixie dust, and some glitter in here. And there are a few more coming that I didn't catch when I first did this, and I'll show you why as I get into it more. And I was trying to stay away from crystals just because I didn't want the dimension that it brings. However, it is for, I'll just show you real quick here. It is for, if you can see this. So like in here, it's like a potion, like showing potion. There's some designs. Oh, let me see if you can see that. There's some designs, like there's a butterfly in here and like an apple or something here. There's a pumpkin here. So some of I didn't catch that in the beginning, so I had to go back and order those colors, like in here. So I did end up going with a couple crystals, and I hope it looks right. If not, I might have to kind of change the color because it didn't come in another option. So I am going to push this out of the way a little bit so we can see this again. So I got, as you can see, I got my first, oh, I got a drill popping out. I got my first row, my first month completed. While I was waiting for the specialty drills to come in, I did all the black in the background. So it was quite interesting, and I made it a little harder on myself, and I'm gonna get into that a little bit. So obviously I was very new to this whole thing, and I didn't really know what I was doing. Now I know for next year, and I'm going to share it with you so you hopefully don't make the same mistake. Not that it's a mistake, it's fine. But I made it a little bit more difficult on myself, I should say. And this particular one is a little bit more difficult, especially for a beginner. Which I am. I was like, oh, I did a little difficult one. But so this is the black, and this is the colored version that they show. This is not exactly what mine's going to look like, but it'll be probably kind of similar because I have the purples and blues up here. It'll kind of probably be somewhat sort of similar. I did go with the colors they recommended on this one. But this is kind of the grade version, and some little notes that I made here. So this one is actually when you're ordering your kit. So let me go back. I know I'm going to kind of feel like I'm all over the place here. I apologize. This is my first time. So when ordering your canvas, when I ordered from Heaven and Earth Designs, I don't know how other companies necessarily do it, but they want the stitch size because this is considered a cross stitch conversion. They want the stitch size. Now I know this one said it somewhere. I don't think it's on the paperwork. I think that's why I wrote it here. For some reason, yeah, I don't think like on this one, it says it right on here. And I know this one did somewhere, but I must not have printed that paper off. So this is, let me take a quick look at something here. I think yes. So this pattern is 180 stitches across by 290 stitches this way. Now, you can also tell this, I'm gonna kind of, hopefully I don't lose you here, and if you have any questions, please ask. There's so much stuff. So you'll get, with this one, I got a few different things. Like this one, it doesn't come with If you can see, it doesn't come with the numbers or anything on it, but it comes with color. Then this one has no color, but it has all of the numbers. And then this page is the one that I am using. So it has color and it has number. And if you can see, this is why it's confusing, because there's 4 colors for one day. Now, most of them, like this one, is just 1 color for a day. Or this one, we have 4 colors for a day. So anyway, back to the stitch count. So once you get your pattern and stuff downloaded, so it's 1 through 60, and then you have your 60 to 120, and then you have your 120 to 180. So that shows you all the way across. So there you know it's 180 across. And then here we have our 10 to 70. Well, it's actually a little bit more, but I'm gonna show you here. And then, oh, so it's the next month. So the next month, we go from 70, or, you know what? This one got really confusing. I apologize. Let's just go with the 296. It's 296 down because it started over. So yeah, this may not be for a beginner because it is a little bit confusing. So it started over from 10 to 70, whatever. So I just know that it's gonna start. It didn't do like a cross going all the way across. It started for each pattern. It started with the 10 to 70, whatever. Like this one is 74. I think the other one was 76. So it gets a little bit confusing. So I remember Rich had mentioned, and I didn't know the reasoning, something about he wished he would have ordered his a little bit bigger because something was getting cut off. So I was kind of like, oh, well, I don't want that to happen. And I didn't know if he ordered it too short. I honestly don't know. So I was like, oh, I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to order mine 5 stitches wider and 5 stitches taller. And now that I have started doing it, I realize I would have ordered it the exact measurements, 180 to 296 for this one. So what I did is now I have 2 extra spaces over here and 3 over here. I don't know at this point. I might cut this extra row off when I'm done, or I might just leave it and it's a little bit off center. Just stitch it up to my first time. Ha ha ha, stitch it up. And just leave it, you know. At this point, it doesn't look too horribly off. However, with doing that, and I'm going to have I have an extra, 2 extra rows up here. And then at the bottom, I'm also going to have, actually, I think I have more extra rows at the bottom, and I'm going to put in there my town and the year. So I would, if you want to do something like that, you would need to order a few extra at the bottom. And this other kit that I gave me a pattern for either a 4 high or a 5 high rows. So there is that. If you're interested in putting, like this one shows at the bottom, they put 2023 Rome, Italy, if you can see that. So I decided I think I do want to do that. So I'm going to do that at the bottom, and I do have enough space for that. So order the measurement side to side the right, and if you want to add something, add a few extra rows at the bottom. You know, if you want to skip a line from the bottom of your pattern, and then do a 4, I would recommend doing 5 extra. If you want to do a 5 row, you know, you get it, hopefully. If you don't, just let me know. So all that being said, next time I know more what I'm looking at. I know I want to look at this and get the pattern or the size and be more accurate. Or if you do want to border, at least order an even number. So I'd have 3 and 3 over here. However, that being said, if you want to do that, just know, gosh, I feel like I keep seeing them pop up, but they're not. Must be just how the light's hitting them. Do know that when you go to do your pattern, it throws your counts off. So your counts aren't exactly the same. Like this over here gives, oh, sorry, I'm out of frame here. Like this over here is kind of an extra row all the way down next to, now the shelf comes out, but next to the bottles, they start a row over. So see, now I have the 2 extra rows and then that row. So my counts are off by 2, which makes it a little bit difficult. And then they're off by 2 up here as well. So I can't necessarily go by these counts. So I'm not 5 over to start this. I'm 7 over to start this, if that makes sense. So it's the whole way through. So it got a little confusing, but I managed to figure it out and pull it off. I think it looks pretty cute. But then when my special drills came in and I'm filling them in, again, you're off by count because it's over. So I just, once I got, I did 4 this. So 4, if you can see that, 4 is the darker color. Then 3 is the next lighter, darker color. And then you go 2, and then you go 1. So let me pull. So for this first one, we used this set of 4 colors. So this was number 4, this was number 3, this was number 2, and this was number 1. See, where normally it would be one bottle is just one particular color. So that's what I mean. This one is a little bit more complex because there's 4 colors per bottle. Well, not necessarily. Some of them, like this one here, just had 2 colors. So it just depends on the bottle, but it can be up to 4. And then when you add like this, see, this has another special color in there that's not part of this. But then you can have an added color in a few of them here and there. Not all of them are that way, but you can see this one and this one and this one for the my next row. 3 of the beginning ones have, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 3 of the 9 days, the first 9 days are going to have another special drill. And that's what I forgot, these special drills that aren't part of the 4. I forgot to order those. So those are actually, I just got a notification, those are shipping today, I believe. So, or they shipped yesterday or today. They either shipped yesterday or will be shipping out today. Yeah. So that is, and obviously I'm a little bit behind because I didn't get going till a little bit later. But I was like, oh my gosh, after I started doing it, I'm like, what did I just take on with these 4 colors? I'm like, this definitely is not beginner. However, if you have it in you, maybe. I mean, I obviously did it and figured it out. So it just depends on you. If it's, if you're up to something a little bit more complex, go for it. If you want to start out simpler, probably not the one to start with. But I think it looks really cute and it's coming along. I'm getting anxious to start, hopefully by the next time I do a video, I will have, we're going into, well, it's April 4th today. So we'll see when this video gets edited and out. My boyfriend's been out of town all week and he has several other videos that he's been, supposed to edit for me and he just has not had time. So, I might try and make this one a priority though, to get it out. So hopefully by the next time I do another video, I will have, at least through March done. Oh, I did want to show you here. So this actually came with this chart and there's one for all the other months as well, but it was a, temperature tracking. So I went and I found a website, and I will post all of my links to where I got all of this stuff from down in the description. But this actually came with this kit, and I went to a weather website that was recommended from one of these kits, and I did the high temperatures. You can do low, you can do high, you can do mid, I guess. I don't know. You could choose morning, you could choose night. You know, there's different options what you can choose, but you want to be consistent. So I just did high temperatures for each day. So I have gone through and wrote all of those down, which makes it a little bit easier so you don't have to look it up as you're going. I just have this sitting there. So you need something like this. And then this kit came with, so let me go back through here. So this just kind of shows you what I've already talked about. Each bottle, the small is a day. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're just showing, and then this is one day. Each bottle uses 2 to 4 colors. The symbols of the ranges are number 1 to 4, where 4 is the darkest, is 1 is the lightest. We went over that. And then this talks about the breakdown. This is the temperature jumps that they did. And this is Weather Underground. I can't remember if that's where I went. I'll look up for sure where I went. But you can decide to change your colors, and it talks about that. These are the colors. Let me see. So this is the one I use. These are all the same. Obviously, you can see a little bit different. This one does not have the symbol in it. This one has the symbol. This one has the symbol with it in a white square, so you can see it a little bit better. So these are all the same. I'm going to throw these over so that it doesn't get confusing. But this is the page for all those extra special drills. Like I showed you, that one has the little yellow in there. So this right here, the ultra pale. So these are what I forgot to order. These are what are on their way coming. And this also is all these browns that I have in here and the black. And I went through, and what's really nice is this is how many you need. This shows how many you need of those. Let me bring that up. This is really nice. So I know I only need 49 of these, but this one color I need 48, 47. And I have, see, I weighed these, and I have 7,995 approximately. And here's my math down here, 18 grams. It was 3,500 drills. And I got that from Diamond Art Club Special Drills when they send you, because I ordered a couple of those, and it says they're 18 grams, and it says there's 3,500 drills. So it's approximately 195 drills per gram. So then I added up how many bags of 310 I have. So I have 20,475 310 drills. And is that one? Oh, that's my background. And when I did the math, I know I'm going to need more of those. I can't remember at the moment, but I know I'm going to need more of those because you can do the conversion as well by length and width, I think. Now, I may or may not need a ton more because, you know, obviously this is taking up some of the space. So anyway, but this is how I knew I'm going to need more of these, because I need 3345, and by my weight, I know I only have 1950. So I'm going to have to get on some of those kits with that in it. But it was kind of nice that it has, you know, how many you need of each, which it's minimal for the most part, except for like the bottle toppers, the cork toppers, and the shelf. But all these other ones are just the special stuff that are in here. This one, obviously, this is number 1. So this is 1, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and 4, which that is if you're just doing the stitches, not if you're doing the temperature this way, if that makes sense. So, oh, and these are all my kits with those extra drills that I need. So I'm going to have to get on some of those. So then here, and if this is really confusing, I really hope this is not super confusing. But here, so I told you, here we have some temperatures. So warmest, I decided to just go with what they did. It's really nice because they laid it out here. And I decided to just go for this after I wrote down where's my papers? After I wrote down my temperatures and I kind of started looking through to see, you know, because I want my colors to change a little bit. So I started looking and I'm like, okay, so these are going to change here. And so I decided I'm just, especially with this one being so complex, I decided to just go with what they suggested. Now, so these colors are 96 and above, and then we have 79 to 95, 65 to 78, 51 to 64, 31 to 50, 15 to 30, and then 14 and below. Now, some of these were not, oh, I have a call coming in, sorry. Some of these were not available, so I did on DP with Sparklers, they have a chart that you can kind of compare comparable colors, and I also found something online that could give you comparable colors as well. So if I couldn't find an option in what they did, I went with a color that said was comparable. Now here I have 608. Gosh, I didn't realize that until just now. So I have 608 in an AB and I have 608 in a glitter. Huh. But they do look different, so that'll still work out fine. So this is that color run. So we have 608 AB is going to be our darker, then we have a 608 glitter, and then we have 3824 and 3771. So that'll be one day. So like I said, some of these, there wasn't an option on the DP with Sparkler site for that particular color. So I just went with a comparable color. That this was DMC, let's see if you can see that, DMC 25, and then we had a DMC 34 and a DMC 33. So I had to find which, you know, because we don't have drill colors that go with that. So I had to find what was comparable. And then a DMC 24 here. So I had to find comparable colors. So for the most part, this works, but you do have to make some adjustments. Depending if you can't find, like if you want to go with just regular colors, they might have those. I'm not sure, but they did not for the specialty drills. So there is all of that. And let me see, I think that's everything on this one. So like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. I think that was everything. But I did want to make sure size, make sure you, especially if you're a beginner and trying to count and stuff and that confuses you, order to size, what the stitch size goes for, so you don't have extra. If you want to add, you know, the city and date at the bottom, then you're going to have to order a little bit more, but I would suggest ordering and starting at the very top, not leaving a border. If you want a border, then you're going to have to count the extra spaces. So I think that's it on that one. I'm going to link where I got that from in case you're interested in all that information. And so here you go. So that is what that looks like so far. And I think it's really, really cool. So now the other one, I'll just show you really quick. It's blank. I have not started this one because I am waiting. I didn't have enough 310. I'm going to do the background on this one black as well because I think it makes those colors pop. I tried to choose brighter colors. Or, well, they chose the colors, but they were bright enough colors. This one I changed a little bit, but I will show you that. So I don't have anything started on this one yet. I had to order more 310 drills. I didn't want to mix Diamond Art Club drills, so I'm going to use the Diamond Art Club 310s on this one. And then on that one, I ordered 310 drills from Jada Gem Shop. So I'm still waiting for those to come in, but again, I put this all in Elizabeth Ward. And so here is this one. So this one is a 277 by 125. Again, I ordered 5 more rows and 5 more rows and 5 more columns. So I'm going to be off again. But so this one, as I was looking at it, and I haven't started it, and it kind of changes when you start it. So I'll let you know more in the next video when I actually get this one started. But see on this picture, so they have border all the way around on this one. Now the pattern starts right at the edge. And so this goes like this. It kind of cuts off. And it goes right to the top and right to the bottom. So like this would be your next, so this flower is taller and it starts right at the top. So you're not going to have any of this border that it's showing. So it's going to be right at the top of that flower, right at the bottom, and right at the edges. So if you want some border on this one, you're going to have to order a little bit bigger, which is going to make your counts off. So if this is your first time and that doesn't make any sense to you and you don't want to be off, I would recommend ordering this exact size. But no, it's not going to have all this outside border area. Now you're still going to have some background to it because you have all this space, you know, in between and then across here and then, you know, all across in between all these flowers. So you're still going to have background. It's just not going to have this border. So yeah, again, I am going to start 2 rows in. I'm going to have 3 rows over here. Maybe I should do this one opposite of the last one so I can hang them and they'll look even. I don't know. But then I'm going to have some extra room at the bottom as well. And I'm going to put, again, the year and the town. But so yeah, so then this one, I don't know if you can see it, but it does have like 1, so this would be your first day, and then we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So it goes, you know, back and forth. And then this stem here just kind of goes, you just kind of do it like this color and then this color here, and it shows you the amount, if you can see that in there, if that makes sense, hopefully. So this one is definitely a little bit more easy because it is just 1 color per day. Now, let me see if I can get to... All right, so here again is that color. Now this is if you're following their symbols. I am not following their symbols because we're doing a temperature. That's if you're just doing it as a cross stitch pattern and not necessarily a temperature chart. So here are the colors that they came up with. And these, I changed it up a little bit because I wanted to add some pinks in there. So I changed it up a little bit, as you can see. And then I just wrote, I'll show you up close a little bit. I just wrote in here what drill I ordered. So this one I ordered an AB, this one was a pixie dust, this is an AB, glitter, and so forth. this was just I kind of started going through and writing colors, and then I made up my own list here. And as you can see, this is the one that came with, the dates to write the temperatures in. So then I am as well going to go with the temperature range that they have suggested. Now they do give it in Fahrenheit and Celsius, which is nice. I am in the US, so I will go with the Fahrenheit scale. So then again, like this 3756 will be 1 degree and under. The 775 will be 2 to 7 degrees. So again, I'm going to go with the high for the day. I'm going to use that the same one I already did of this for the other one. And then this is it was nice. It comes with the chart if you want to do 4-letter or 4 high or 5 high for your name or your town, state, and year. And then these are just some blank. So this one is very much simpler than this kit here. Again, I'll link all this stuff where I got these from. These are my colors that I chose from, where'd I go? From this chart here. So these are all my colors. So this is my colder, and then, we start to get warmer, and then this is the hot. But this one is definitely going to be much simpler because, like I said, you're just doing for one leaf or one petal, the center, a petal, a leaf. You're doing all the same color, not 4 colors per day for that one. So that is that one. And I'm hoping those drills come in soon. I mean, I could start it and just leave the cover on it, but I don't like doing that and getting too far. I could maybe start the first, well, I guess it wouldn't be the first, it'd be flower this way. I don't like to get too far and then have to go back because then I don't like my arm getting over stuff and things like that. But I could maybe start this first flower on this one. But again, I might just wait. I might get this one finished my first 3 months. And then I guess I could even start. I don't know that I'll do it necessarily every day. I don't know if I want to wait a whole month to do a whole month or maybe every few days or maybe once a week. I don't know yet how I'm going to do that, but I will let you know once I actually get everything caught up and then I'm actually on the right month and let you know what works for me, whether it's, monthly or weekly or every, maybe 10 days or something like that. But like I said, if you're very ambitious, like I was, go with a little bit more complex one. If you want something more simple, make sure it's, when you're looking at it, make sure it's just 1 color a day. And if you need help, looking at that stuff, you're not quite sure, by all means, let me know. I have an email. I'll have an email down in my description, Facebook and Instagram, if you can get a hold of me any of those ways. And I'd be more than happy to help you try and figure it out. And by no means am I an expert. I obviously have just started this as well, but I have learned quite a bit as I go. The other thing that's important is you're really going to want to do square unless, why does that one look like it's keep popping up? It's not. You're going to want to do square unless you want to have to deal with mica powder and filling in the background. Because if you do round, all this white will show through and you won't like that, which I was kind of like, because I love sparklers. I love the blingy DP with sparklers or sparklers for square. But I didn't really want, with this being my first, I didn't really want to have to mess with the mica powder and all that stuff. So I went with, ended up going with all square drills because on Heaven and Earth Design, you can get rounds. So if you want to go that route, you're more than welcome to. However, just know you're going to have to use mica powder or something to fill in. You can use eyeshadow. There's all different kinds of things you can use, but you're going to have to fill in those white background spaces. So that is another important thing to know, that if you don't like doing square, this is better done square, unless you want to mess with mica powder and having to fill all that in. So on that note, I think that's all of the information I have on this at this time. And like I said, if you have any questions, please reach out. I'll be more than happy to try and help you. And I will have the links down below of everything. Where I got my charts, where I got, my canvas, all that stuff. The link to the weather app that I'm using, weather website that I'm using to get my temperatures from. All that good stuff will be down in the description. If I do forget something, just let me know. I'm human and I forget. But anyway, my temperature chart experience. I'd love to hear what your guys's what you guys think about this, and if it's something you would like to do. And obviously, you could still start it this year, or you can start getting things together and do one for next year. But I'd be happy to help you. So, with that said, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I do appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, and I would encourage you to subscribe. If you like my content, it's totally free to subscribe. Turn on the notifications and you'll see, get notifications of any other videos I put out. And it just helps get my content to other people that might like it as well. So I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope to see you in the next one.